Hi guys, welcome to our fourth video of the Computer Lab session. In this video, we are going to introduce the concept of functions. We are going to write our first function that compute the return for a single stock. And then we are going to use sapply to apply this function to each column of the data frame of the price. As you may remember, like for each column, it represents the price of one unique stock in our example. So yeah, let's get started. Let's move it above, and then as you can see, like if we run line 26 to 28, we're going to define the functions, and like this function is going to accept some input, and that is going to be successively differencing it and divided by the elected values, and then times 100. So if you provide a price factor, is going that are consecutively sorted, is going to calculate the return for you. But simply typing the let's do it on console. Simply typing the function name out and then use bracket is not going to calculate the return for you. You have to provide a suitable input, in this case numeric factors at least. So let's use price of AN in the Computer Lab exercise dataset as an example. So let's put CLS. That's the beauty of the RStudio. There are auto completions, so when you start typing, it's going to show you suggest you some input. Yeah. So if we actually press enter, it's going to perform some operations, but the output is not going to be stored in the global environment. Yeah, we know that like it do something, but it's not safe, so we can't verify and we can't further act on these computations. So what do? We can assign it to an object, and let's give it a name as r_an, and we use this as an assignment operators to assign the computation result of here into this object. And if we run this line, it actually create a numeric factor called r_an, and as you compare to the to the data frame that contain the price of different stocks, it's going to be one value less as expected, because like it's differencing from the price, right? So the first value of the price certainly cannot be different. Like there's no data to be different for that stock for that day, right? So it's going to be one value less. Of course, we can repeat this procedure for each column of the price, but as the number of the number of stock increase, it's highly likely that we are going to make some human mistake, like typo or something like that. So in order to reduce, we can actually use sapply to apply this function that to each column of the data frame, as it is a repetitive task, right? Like so in order to do so, let's create a data frame that we can store the returns. We can first create an empty matrix that has one row less compared to the data frame of the price, and then same number of columns of the data files. And for the name, we don't need the row names, and we simply use the column names of the price data for simplexities. So if we run this line, we define a matrix. We create matrix objects. But as you can see, that is like as we use the constructor of matrix, constructor function of matrix. The class is also matrix. We would like to coerce it as the data frame. So run this is going to coerce it to a data frame, just like what we do in last videos. So now we can see that like it is a data frame that has NA for all observations and all columns. So now we start by filling up the first column, date. So as we said, like the first column in the price data frame is the first column, right? So it's going to be after the comma is this is a column, so we simply put 1, and we want to exclude the first row, which is for the first date, as you will have no return for that date, and we will fill it up at the first column of the data frame for returns. So if we run this and run the head tails again, and you can see that the first column is filled. Okay, yeah, and then we can start to use sapply to apply the function we wrote on each column of the price data frame. So before we actually run sapply, let's check the documentations. So it's basically accepting is going that like we are going to provide a list, and then it's going to perform the it's going to apply the function that we give on the second arguments on each element of the list in the first arguments. So in this case, we're going to excluding the we're going to provide the data frame of price as a list, excluding the first column, and then it's going to apply this cal return function to each column other than dates. So, and then we're going to place the computation result into the into the data frame return matrix, excluding the first column. And once we run this line, and then we can see that like the computation is stored in the second to sixth columns. So just to verify whether it is exactly the same if we run run the cal return functions on column by column, we can use we can set this say Microsoft equals wait, no, let's, for simplicities, we'll simply use AN again. Yeah, so it's going to be like which means that like this column is going to be like for each elements in this column is exactly equals to the elements of the numeric factors R underscore AN, which is true. So basically that's it for this video.